Hello and thanks for tuning in to the news here at globaltalkradio.com. Today's guest is John Colacion. He's the president and CEO of Search and Networks, an internet marketing and search engine consultancy. He has over 10 years of website marketing and management experience in the internet industries involving website development, management, online advertising, and search engine optimization. And he is also author of the book, Mastering Your Website, The Insider's Guide to Fully Understanding Your Website, Search Engine Optimization, and Building Your Brand. John, welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you very much. I'm glad to be on the program today.
You know, this is an incredibly important subject that we're talking about today, and perhaps for listeners who may not know that much about SEO, can you give them a little bit of background on it?
Sure. SEO, of course, is short for search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is the process of ensuring it's a few different processes in one, actually. It's ensuring that your website is understandable and comprehensible to search engines, and it also has to do with the marketing process of your website to allow search engines to feel that your website is important enough to rank in the search engines. Everyone wants to have a good position and visibility in the search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. And search engine optimization is important because search engines need to, they have spiders and crawlers, and they need to not only understand your website, but be able to navigate their way through it, find all of the website's pages, and then be able to associate a rank with it. And search engine optimization is the process of ensuring that the search engines do understand what your website is about in order for them to display it when people search for keywords that may be on your pages.
Now, for an online business, this is critical, but to be honest, these days, even if you don't have an online business, it's becoming critical because this is how a lot of your prospective customers are going to find you. So the question is, how expensive is all this?
Well, search engine optimization, the costs vary greatly. It really depends on what you're doing. It has changed very much in the last, and it's almost like a decade. So it depends on what you're doing. There's different aspects of it. Long ago, it used to be much easier. I'll put it that way. There's a process of your website has basic characteristics to it. There's meta tags. There's the content that is displayed on your website. There is associating a certain rank with your website based on the number of sites that link to your website. So it depends on the market, the niche, because the industry is, it's very competitive out there now. So it may cost more for a company that has a very desirable keyword versus maybe localized, targeted, niche services. Almost everyone has a website now. Excuse me. And whether you're a small business or you're a big, a big company with, a franchise, multiple locations, whatever you are, everyone is out there searching for what they need. And, so it really depends. A business that may be brick and mortar, maybe, a local plumber or something like that who's only trying to come up in his local area, and his prospects are very targeted. They're going to be searching something like, Las Vegas plumber. The competition is more reasonable than someone that may be trying to market nationally, maybe for a particular product that a lot of their competitors are out there selling the same product. There's a lot of fighting going on for that top place on the search engine.
Well,
it really depends.
How long does it take actually to do SEO? And is it a one-time thing or is it an ongoing process?
I believe SEO is something that never really ends. Search engine optimization will, you can do it initially and improve things greatly in your websites. For instance, a website that might have all flash, and there's no actual content on the website. Search engines don't, they go there and they don't necessarily read anything because maybe the website has all of their text, whether it's in flash or it's embedded in an image or something like that. Optimizing that website would entail restructuring the site, basically. The search engine wants to come there and it wants to index what's on the site. And if there's a bunch of text that, like let's say you had a few paragraphs of text and it was all within an image because the designer wanted to make it really flashy looking, the search engine will come there, it'll see the image, and it won't really have an opportunity to read the text and index it in its catalog of information. Optimizing that website one time would be a substantial benefit, because that part of the optimization process would be to take that content out of the image and put it on the page in a way that the search engine can read it and index the information, find the keywords that are in the content, and then be able to categorize the site based on the content it found. That would be a one-time improvement that would make a substantial difference. But every instance is not that clear. So in other words, SEO becomes less important when you become less interested in how you're ranking on search engines.
Well, so that begs the question, how do you know that you've been successful then at your SEO efforts? Is it more than just going to Google and typing in your name?
Well, no, it's pretty clear, because in the process of all of this, you need to be monitoring your positions. So in other words, and your traffic. There's lots of tools. There's tools out there that are free. Google Analytics is something that a lot of people have probably heard about. It's a great tool. Google offers it for free. You can put the analytics statistic code on your website, and then you could log into Google Analytics, whether you do it daily, weekly, monthly, and it'll track all the visitors that come to the website, and for the most part, where they came from, how they got there, where they navigated to, whether or not they went to a page and then converted. In other words, you could, like, let's say your thank you page was considered a conversion. You could actually measure how many times people actually wound up on that thank you page and where they came from. So there's a lot of ways to measure, but basically and generally, what you want to see is an increase in traffic. Once you do SEO, if you want to see if you're getting 1,000 visitors a month, then a month or two down the line, when you're doing SEO, you want to see 2,000 visitors, 3,000 visitors. Sometimes the increase can be substantial. So that's how you measure my results.
So what do you say to people who are thinking, this is just too complicated for me, it's going to take too much time, too much money, it's much simpler, let me just go and spend some money on something like Google AdWords?
Well, that's there's Google AdWords is very good. That is a way to get more traffic to your website. I look at search engine optimization as more of a long-term strategy, because if your site, there's so much traffic to be received from the search engines. It's a problem that you don't want to let just go by the wayside. The search engine traffic is free traffic, where versus pay-per-click, you're paying every time someone clicks on that ad, and there's no real long-term benefit. SEO, once SEO is done, you can get more traffic naturally and over a longer period of time. Like, you could do SEO for a year and then stop and still reap those benefits for a year, two, or maybe more. Where pay-per-click advertising, you can set up a great campaign. You can get the benefit of those immediate consumers visiting the website, but then once you shut off the campaign, you're back to square one. So pay-per-click is good, and there's a lot of interesting things happening with pay-per-click right now as far as behavioral marketing and interest-based advertising, where you can target users based on all different types of criteria. So I don't want to rule pay-per-click out. It's definitely very effective, but it's not as long-term beneficial to your website as SEO.
Can someone do some reading, let's say like your book, and actually do SEO by themselves?
That's the best and most cost-effective way to do it, because with SEO there is costs involved. Now, the return on investment is very high in most cases. Provided that you know what you're doing, you hired a good company, you're either doing it yourself. There's nothing like understanding this critical part of your business. I mean, search engine optimization, your website, it's critical now. Everybody has a website. You must be online. You must be found. A business growth is most times identified by its business volume, the fact that it can grow, and you need to find new customers. You need new customers to find you. So it's a critical part of your business, and understanding it is very important. And my book is based on it's really two books in one. It starts in a way where people can understand. A lot of the feedback that I've received from people who have read the book are very, very taken back and surprised on how drilled down the book is to the layman. They understand it's about understanding what search engine optimization is, how you could, it's about understanding the reason why you're doing this more than how to do it. It's really about understanding why and how does this work. Why does certain things affect my website's position? So you can do SEO yourself, and it is a great idea to learn about SEO and to try to do as much as you can on your own, and you'll save a lot of money.
Well, it sounds like SEO is something that really no business can live without today, and maybe the best way to start is to try to do it yourself, and you have some wonderful tips in your book. And then, of course, if you need a little bit more professional advice, like you said, this is one of those investments that just reaps tremendous rewards over time. And we've been speaking with John Colacion. The book is Mastering Your Website, The Insider's Guide to Fully Understanding Your Website, Search Engine Optimization, and Building Your Brand. John, thank you very much for being part of our program.
Thank you very much for having me.